One, two, three. Alright, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Saya NakJodoh, Coach Zuri. Selamat datang, selamat malam. Thank you for joining. Alright, so a bit of warning. Jing, jing, jing. Alright, this topic, I don't hear many tukang cari jodoh or tukang cari jodoh or dating coach or anyone willing to share about this topic. So I'm gonna share about this topic to address the concerns of the concerns and feelings of shame that is blocking you from cari jodoh. Okay, apa kena mengena shame dengan sebagai penghalang you mencari jodoh? Because why? I receive a lot of messages, women telling me, saying that they takut nak mencuba mencari jodoh lagi sebab kena body shame. They takut nak cuba lagi sebab pernah kecundang. Takut nak cuba cari jodoh sebab rasa diri tak mencukupi. Nanti malu, rasa shame tu nanti ternampak lagi, kita nampak our own shame. Takut shame of rasa diri tak cukup cun. Takut cun lagi, rasa tak cukup perfect. Shame of being not perfect enough. Because you've been told that, you have to be perfect to get married. You have this inkling or notion that you have to be perfect to kahwin. For some reason, a lot of reasons, kan? And rasa tak worthy untuk dicinta. Kan? Betul tak? Okay. So, thank you for joining. Alright. So, this is a very big topic. Something that I would like to cover just not for tonight, but for the next few nights. Because malam ni is just to start the discussion. What I want you to do later is basically, tell me what your concerns, your feelings of shames are. You don't have to share with me. Yang paling penting, you realize where your mistakes are, then you can fix it. Okay? So this is very hard for people to do, realizing what their mistakes have been, and accepting the mistake, because it's very eye-opening. And so what is the warning? The warning is, back to the warning. Warning is either you will break down or you will have an awakening and become more resilient. If you break down, like I had last year when I started to go about this practice accidentally, but I learned to heal with ilmu and support. Honestly, I got stronger. Before this, I thought I was already strong. I thought I was already mentally tough because I've gone through some crazy things. I've had machine guns pointed in my head, M16s, parang at me in fights and so forth. I thought that was tough. I thought that made me tough. But you know what made me even tougher? Was facing my own weaknesses. That was truly excruciating. That was truly excruciating. I mean, those experiences of having to face such life and death punya situation and facing death threats. I thought that was, honestly, it was a bit exciting. But it is when I've gone through a realization, realizing some old trauma masa kecil dulu, and of course alhamdulillah I managed to talk about it with a few close friends that I trust, that helped me become stronger because I addressed it. What makes it worse when people don't address it? People just armor up, okay? So am I going to share what happened to me? I don't know. You have to be selective with whom you share your weaknesses are, okay? You don't want people to use it against you. And so don't just tell everyone what your weaknesses are, okay? You have to tell Allah, these are my weaknesses, admit it, and apologize for making mistakes. And we'll get into that after this. Okay, so thank you for joining. All right, so as I warned just now, You might break down, but you can heal from it with ilmu and support, and you will have an awakening that makes you more resilient, make you more self-acceptance, self-accept, self-accept, acceptance. Can so um so hey, do you think I don't feel vulnerable talking about this? I do. But learning from my own vulnerabilities, my weaknesses, that actually made me stronger. Knowing what my weaknesses and strengths are, I've accepted myself even more. And okay, so just do it because niat tu baik, insyaAllah. Okay, berani kerana benar, kan? Alright, so what's this got to do with shame and jodoh? Like I mentioned just now, I get a lot of messages. Women, men feeling they're not worthy of love, not worthy of getting married, not worthy of meeting someone new, rasa tak mencukupi, rasa tak perfect, takut that guy jumpa someone better, uh, you know, takut nanti malu if that guy find someone better sebab diri tak mencukupi, takut tak cukup perfect. For some reason, advertisement have been telling you that you have to be perfect untuk nak kahwin, kan? And you have, family, your friends telling you, oh, nak kahwin, kurus lah dulu. Like, really? Kan? Really? That's a question. Rasa diri you tak cukup kurus, tak cukup tinggi, tak cukup cun, tak cukup handsome, tak cukup kaya. And usually for men, that was for women, but usually for men, it boils down to um, shame because of fear of looking weak. That is the biggest bottom line what men are facing. So I'm telling you this. Why? Is because for you to understand and empathize what men go through when trying to decide to get married, what fear they have. That fear at the bottom to shame. How it manifests is fear of tak cukup duit, tak mampu. So he looks weak. Shame in terms of looking weak. Okay, and then dia tak tahu nak jadi husband. Yalah, kan? Kau tak pernah jadi husband and atau takut divorce lagi. And takut nak jadi bapa. Well, you have to start somewhere, honestly. Kan? So usually men, or sometimes usually men lah, predominantly men, armor up. Armor up tu dia macam put on a stronger facade. Oh, aku tough, aku tak perlu bantuan cari jodoh. Aku cool, aku macho, kan? Nanti aku petik je 10 datang. And yep, that's why I guess you're still single. Kan? So lepas tu tak perlulah doa-doa ni, doa minta kat Tuhan ni, aku petik je 10 datang. So, yeah, really? So, okay, tak perlu doa, tak perlu minta pertolongan Allah. So, harap dia tiba-tiba, your dream girl would come down from the sky. Okay, so that is how usually guys respond to cari jodoh. Okay, so understand, ladies, please understand, man's fear is looking weak. Usually macam, oh tak cukup duit lah nak kahwin. Dah date you 10 tahun, oh tak cukup duit lah nak kahwin. Tapi itu sampai bila? Sampai bila dia nak cukup duit, kan? And then dia takut nak jumpa your parents sebab rasa macam nanti your father interview me, nanti semua terbongkar. I tak cukup duit, I ni tak cukup educated, I ni tak cukup confident. Nanti kena grill dengan your father nanti macam mana, kan? So he will feel that he will look weak. That is makes him vulnerable and fear of moving forward. Okay, boleh? Okay, so but honestly cakap to mainly the guys, bedal je. bukan bedal je, but dengan ilmu, kan, dengan adab ilmu, if you will constantly improve your akhlak and agama, don't worry guys, because most guys tell me this problem because takut nak jumpa the girl's father. And honestly, it's just a tough interview. Um, Remember, keep your eye on the ball, which is you nak dapatkan keredaan Allah, kan? Bukan you nak buat apa-apa ke anak dara dia. Okay? So, man's biggest shame is to be perceived as weak. So, does not mean that your father, bila interview dia, should be really too light, too easy on him. Yeah, you need to test him. His guile. Is that word? Guile. His kejati diri. Dia boleh jawab ke tidak. Dia berani menjawab. Speak the truth, whatever the question will be. Kan? So, berani kerana benar. Okay? So, when you, as the lady pun, bila you berjumpa dengan the bakal mertua, of course, you still have to answer some questions. And if you appear as macam rasa tak sure, unsure of yourself, rasa diri tak mencukupi, tak confidence, well, people can smell that, especially orang tua, macam this girl macam nak ke tak ni, kan? Jawab pun apa-apa je lah. So, why I'm bringing up this shame untuk cari jodoh is because for you to find a way to be more confident, and we're going to share strategies on how to be more confident. Okay? And how to remind yourself that you are worthy. You're already worthy. Allah already loves you. You're already worthy of Allah's love. Tapi you risau lelaki tak boleh terima you sebab you know tak cukup kurus, tak cukup cun, takut kecundang lagi, kan? Itu there are strategies to mitigate that. So that's why I keep sharing this every night, istiqomah setiap malam, to remind you that you are worthy, and at the same time bukan bedal je. Kalau I have a bit of concern, di mana there was this lady, she messaged me, kalau ada adalah, kan. Nanti Allah turunkan je lah. Okay, betul, kan. But tapi kalau you do handle it with ilmu, macam mana you nak amalkan? Ya? Amal tanpa ilmu itu binasa, ilmu tanpa amal itu sia-sia. So, I seriously would like to share ilmu dan pengalaman saya sebagai seorang tukang cari jodoh, and the concerns of people, my clients have shared with me, and my clients, and even my own personal pains and growth, so that you are better equipped for you to become more confident and better at handling situations. Mainly better at handling yourself, your own thoughts. Sebab kepala kita banyak biawak, kan? How to handle the biawak tu bisikkan dalam kepala otak kita sendiri. That's pulling us down and blocking our own jodoh effort. Okay, so right, thank you for joining. All right, so why we need to, how do we handle the feelings of shame? Okay, this is a bit counterintuitive, because it might feel counterintuitive, and it will be excruciatingly vulnerable, because daripada kecil we've been taught that macam, don't show your emotions, especially guys, kan. We're taught to don't cry, don't show emotions, and just keep your feelings to yourself, and I don't want to hear your feelings. This is how guys are raised, mainly guys lah. I guess women also. I've never been a woman, I don't know. So but this feeling, but what I'm trying to advise you is learn to be vulnerable in a smart way. Why you need to be learn to be vulnerable is because it is a doorway to more joy and gratitude. Okay, it at start, it will feel very excruciatingly uncomfortable, because looking at our own weakness, it's hard. Telling ourselves we're accountable for certain things to happen, it's very hard. And for example, contoh, macam okay, kita telah kecundang cinta, contoh, okay, guy or girl, kita telah kecundang cinta, and that happened, and we keep blaming that it's the guy's fault or it's the girl's fault. But what was our fault in it? Silap kita di mana? How come we did not see it? How come, if we did see it, why did we weren't we courageous enough to mitigate it, to handle it? Can so back to, it's a doorway to more gratitude and joy, is because vulnerability is usually something that people are trying to avoid. Feeling vulnerable is, at first, is very uncomfortable. You don't know how to manage it at first, but when you learn to how to manage it, you will be more resilient and be more self-accepting and willing to do, daring to do something bigger, better, stronger. Okay, because vulnerability is not a good or a bad thing, and it's not just a black or white subject. It's just part of life. uh, and if you experience it, it means you're able to feel that you are human. You have more uh, awareness of your own feelings. Boleh, okay? Right. So allowing yourself to actually feel vulnerable is a sign of strength and courage. Most people, how we were raised, usually dulu kan, oh, don't show how you feel, and don't show that you're afraid. But but inside, if you allow yourself to feel that, to be vulnerable, it is actually a sign of strength and courage. Okay, but you have to do it the right way lah. It's a lot easier to avoid the things that might make you feel vulnerable. It's easier to dismiss. It's easier to evade. Katakan contoh macam, your spouse nak cakap pasal something serious, and then you cakap, nantilah kita cakap lain kali lah, because you want to avoid that uncomfortable feeling of, she's not happy about certain thing, or he's not happy about certain something. So makes you feel inadequate to handle that situation. But if you were to able to manage your own feelings of vulnerability, you'll be able to manage your communication and relationship better. Okay, communication technique is another thing. All right, but this is about managing your own inner communication, your own inner strength, your core, building your core. Okay, so to be aware of your own feelings, especially guys, especially guys, we um just a generalization of guys. Macam when, contoh, okay, I'm just taking a scenario, a contoh. Macam, let's say a wife is talking to her husband saying, oh, we don't have enough money for groceries to last the end of the month. And then he snaps, marah, 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 marah. Okay, but if he is aware of his own vulnerability, it's like, okay, all right, I understand what you're saying. Uh, let's fix this. You're upset. I'm upset too. And let's try to fix this. Do budgeting, budget better, shop at a better place. So he's better able to be aware of his own feelings and manage it rather than just marah. So, of course, I know you don't want to cari orang yang pemarah kan. Who does? And that's why this sharing is important. Someone, for you yourself, to be able to manage your own vulnerability and to manage it. And it's actually a source of joy. Uh, it is a doorway to joy and gratitude to Allah. And it's a doorway to more strength and courage to be able to speak up, speaking of being able to speak up, uh, there's this Simon Sinek story which I can relate to, which happened to me, I think 2 years back. It was at the presentation of a group of, datuk, doctor. I was the only one who was not a datuk or a doctor or doctorate, and then there's this person asking for funding to do dakwah work, and then okay, yeah, good, yeah, alhamdulillah. But the presentation was very uh, what's the word? Very uh, pedantic. I think let's use the word pedantic. It was everywhere. It was everywhere, showing data and stats, blah blah blah. And okay, so I put up my hand. Okay, I think there are like six datuk and six doctors. I was the only one who's not just a regular rakyat marhain uh, in that meeting. So I put up my hand. I'm sorry. I know I'm not a datuk. I know I'm not an academic or a doctor, but I don't understand what you're saying. It's simple as that. I don't understand what you're saying. What do you want me to do with this information? I really don't understand what you're saying. Lepas tu this Datuk said, yeah, Zuri's right. I don't understand what she's saying either. So like, okay, this doctor was said, I also don't understand what's going on. It's like, okay. I was willing to be the idiot. Yeah, the idiot said, I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're saying. It's so pedantic, honestly. And, and then there's like, so and then everyone was questioning, why are we trying to give her money? We don't understand. We want to help the dawah. Yes, we want to give her the money. But what exactly, how is it going to be implemented? How will the money be utilized? Yeah, of course, we want to give the money and, to give the funding. But what exactly will she use it for? I mean, as the funder, we want to know. And I was there. I was like, I really do. Sorry, willing to be the to accept. Okay, if they're going to judge me for not understanding, fine. I please. For me, it's simple. Please make it simple for me to relay this information to other volunteers, how to implement this dakwah strategy. Okay, with the money we're giving you. So no one else understood, and so far, good thing I brought it up because the money has not been dispersed. I say, please keep it simple. We want to make it happen, yes, but how will you use it? Basically, it's not yet a strong enough strategy and implementation plan. So good thing, having the courage to speak up, because I'm okay with uh, being thought of as an idiot. And I said, I'm sorry, I have a stupid question. I don't understand what you're saying. And I was okay with being judged if they were to judge, to say that, to say, sorry, don't you understand, blah, blah, blah. Okay, then I understand. It's okay, judge me, whatever. But, I want to know where the money is going. Yeah. But then, but to my surprise, this, academicians and titles said, dia orang pun tak faham what's happening. So it's about a matter of being truthful to yourself and being able to have the courage to speak out and saying no. Again, saying no also, it helps you to say no when you are feeling, okay, I'm not comfortable with this. Why am I not comfortable with this? What am I feeling? So I was vulnerable enough to understand and aware of my own feelings, and dare to question what's going on, what's happening. Okay, so contoh lah what happened a few years ago. So back to it's, of course, it's like I mentioned, it's a lot easier, but it's also vulnerability. Also means that we're missing. If we were to elak, dismiss, or just deny whatever someone else is feeling because we're afraid to feel vulnerable in a discussion, we are missing out on a lot of good things, a lot of joy and empathy. Like a contoh macam I mentioned tadi, the wife says to the husband, like, "Oh, we don't have enough money for groceries," and so if he were just to dismiss, then they wouldn't have money for groceries if he was not willing to open up and discuss the situation. And to be able, there's a chance to be able to empathize the wife better, and to understand what the situation is, and losing out on showing her that you love, empathize, and connect with the wife. Okay, boleh. Okay, so tonight, a bit serious, because it's very related to what's blocking us in usaha mencari jodoh. Okay, for example, another example, uh, you know, you sedang cari jodoh, and then you teringin nak kahwin, contoh, you teringin nak kahwin, and then ada kakak ni dia cakap, tak kahwin lagi ke? Come, let me help you. And then you tell, tak apa, I boleh handle. La. Sebab you takut, rasa macam you punya rasa ketidakcukupan diri, or rasa sendiri tak cun, takut kena reject. Takut kena reject is another big feeling of shame. Kena reject rasa shame lah kan. But it takes what it takes to fix that. In is basically is your goal is untuk dapat keredaan Allah, keredaan Allah. Okay, so kalau ada orang dah nak tolong you cari jodoh, tapi you reject that possible rejection, and so that is one of the penghalang jodoh. Kan, we ourselves menjadi penghalang jodoh kita sendiri. And also we need to be aware why we are feeling vulnerable or afraid of being discovered. That's another thing. Okay, so because facing our vulnerability is a test that we give ourselves, and it is also a gift, because when we ask Allah to show us what is our weakness, which is, and ask Allah to make us stronger, and when we are facing a certain test Allah bagi, we don't ask Allah to make it like, don't test me, oh ya Allah, but we ask Allah to give us the strength, and if possible, make it easier. And make it easier for me to become stronger, not make the situation easier. It depends. I need to clarify that better. You see, I'm being vulnerable. I'm sharing with you that that this is actually a very large discussion. We need to elaborate it. So instead of saying, Ya Allah, don't test me again, but think about it. Based on hadis Imam Al-Tirmidhi, is that the closer you are to Allah, the more you are tested. Betul, sangat betul. Buat kerja dakwah ni challenge yang lain macam. I mean, challenge from among Muslim haters pun sama, kan? Muslim haters, they are Muslim. Cakap, tak payahlah buat kerja dakwah ni, buang masa, bukan dia orang nak dengar kan. Biarlah, kenapa kau bagi makan, what I was told dulu when I was distributing food to the homeless, and also give food to prostitutes. And kena kecam macam, asal kau bagi makan kat pelacur, buat apa, ini masyarakat hina, bla bla bla. Like, to me, my logic is, kalau kita bagi dia makan, dia tak payah kerja malam ni. Simple as that. So kita mengurangkan kemudaratan dalam masyarakat dan bantu dia mengelak dosa. So there are weirdos yang tak pandang jauh. So back to the closer you are to Allah, the more you are tested. The more Allah loves you, the more He tests you. So it's a sign that Allah loves you. You're being tested. One of the sister, she mentioned to me, she actually got engaged to her high school friend, and then putus tunang, and then tried cari jodoh, and then her parents nak bantu dia cari jodoh, tapi silap strategi. Parents dia tak tahu what due diligence, terintroduce dia to a married man. Dia tak nak, but the guy was pestering her. So such a challenge that she had to go through. I mean, that's just tip of the iceberg. It's a very long list of challenge. I tengok macam, Ya Allah, Ya Rabbi, please, Ya Allah, make it easy. Give her the strength to go through. And I talked to her. She's a very strong lady. She's very resilient. She's learning from her past, and she's strong because her heart is with Allah. Her focus is with Allah. So dia kena test ni, dia pun sentiasa hati dia kat Allah, so dia tak rasa macam uh, nak give up. Okay, some giving up is why, talking about giving up, it's happening a lot. I notice rasa macam nak give up because of banyak sangat tests. My quick comment on that is, jangan give up dengan rahmat Allah. Yes, there are a lot of ways to mendapatkan rahmat Allah. Marriage is one of it. It's one of the most blessed rahmat yang Allah bagi. Jangan give up on rahmat Allah. Kalau you nak give up dengan lelaki, give up lelaki yang tak guna. Okay, you have to give up lelaki tak guna, and you have to learn and be accountable on why you let lelaki treat you that way. Boleh, alright, but give up on those, on mistakes, on wrong practices, but don't give up dengan rahmat Allah, dan don't give up dengan ilmu yang Allah syariatkan untuk you cari jodoh. So I keep sharing this every night. This is honestly my perjuangan nak bantu you, because I've gone through this crap myself. Betul, I've gone through this trap myself, this crap myself, and I empathize. I understand what you're going through, truly, and because I've gone through breakups, date breakups, promise, blah 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 blah. Years, 10 years of dating, 10 years, 12 years good of dating. Last baru jumpa tahu ilmu ta'aruf. And like I shared yesterday, alhamdulillah, a friend helped me kenalkan saya ilmu ta'aruf. The thing that I'm sharing with you is ilmu ta'aruf, okay? Berkenalan ikut syariat. So I've gone through all this crap. So I don't want you to repeat the crap that I've gone through. If possible, please don't do the crap that I've gone through. Not because life is short. I believe life is short, and we want to kejar sebanyak berkat dan pahala yang boleh. So I think those years of dating, I missed out on a lot of pahala dan berkat, and I hope for you to skip all that missed opportunities, all those crap that I went through. I know some of you also going through some crap, but it's crap because we don't realize the mistakes that we've done. If we realize and take accountability of the mistakes we're done, then it's not crap. That it's a test, and baru kita insyaAllah dapat berkat. Okay, so Allah is testing us because Allah loves us. Allah wants to show us, hey, you're making a mistake. Let me put it this way. Hey, we're making a mistake. Why are we learning from it? Tapi kita repeat balik. Date break. And then kita, Allah wants us to learn from test. Katakan you pergi, you SPM lah, contoh SPM. Macam, kita fail paper ni, but we don't learn from our mistake or failing at maths or something. We don't learn from mistakes, of course we're going to keep failing. Kan? So how to pass that test, the at maths contoh, is to learn ilmu, timba ilmu macam mana nak pass at maths. So what I'm sharing with you here every night is ilmu how to pass the test of jodoh, cabaran roadblock jodoh. Okay, boleh. Okay, so this is my perjuangan, so that you don't repeat the crap that I've made, some of my clients have made before they met me, and I hope you don't are not going through the same crap. We're probably going through some crap right now, but I'm telling you how to pull yourself out of it. Saya boleh bagi nasihat sahaja, ilmu, pengalaman, but you have to pull yourself out. I'm telling you how to pull yourself out of the crap. Boleh? Alright, so enough crap talk. Back to the hadis, di mana uh, our Prophet SAW says, the greatest reward comes with the greatest trial. Ah, the greatest reward comes with the greatest trial. When Allah loves people, He tests them. Whoever accept that that whoever accepts that wins His pleasure. With whoever is discontent, with that earns His wrath. Okay, so from my understanding is kita yang terima cabaran test ni akan dapat kurniaan daripada Allah and the greatest rewards. Tapi kalau kita tak accept test ni dengan kita tak accept test ni dengan rasa macam tak bersyukur, or rasa discontent, or tak puas hati. Kenapa Allah aku buat macam ni kan? Kenapa Allah kau buat aku macam ni? I'm so victimized. Lalida. So that Allah akan murka. Allah akan murka kalau kita tak kita rasa test ni Allah saja buat kat kita supaya Allah wants to make us stronger and better. Allah wants to make us stronger and better to bring us closer to Him, and Allah test kita lah. Kan? This is English saying. It says that you can't make a strong sword without tempering it. I think that's how it goes. All right. So just to a quick share, there's this pakcik. He said that I think he was just projecting his own failure and talking to me. It's like, talking to me, oh, you've never succeeded in anything in your life, you fail at everything in your life, and then like you should go kill yourself, ambil pedang samurai tu belah perut sendiri kan. It's like that's weird for a Muslim man yang semayang 5 kali sehari tunggang balik to give advice suruh pergi bunuh diri. And when I shared this hadith to him, he said that no, this is all punishment. This is all punishment. Allah is angry with you and punishing you for making all those mistakes. Talking about me or yourself, kan? So sebab hormat pakcik tu cakap diam je, anggur je. Yalah pakcik. Okay, fine, whatever. So sometimes people project their own failures, their own shame and guilt on you, so you don't take it personally. Don't take it personally. If possible, try to avoid such persons. And kalau you cannot avoid such person, you just anggut. Yes. You're right. Usually when I say you're right means F off. Okay. But when I say that's right, meaning I'm in full agreement with you. So that's just how macam apa pakcik ni bising betul. What are you talking about, old man? It's like kongek betul kan. So tak percaya hadis ke? Tak percaya Quran dan hadis, kata-kata Rasulullah. There's his own interpretation that kalau fail bunuh diri, get some honor from killing yourself like a samurai. One, I'm not a samurai. Two, I'm not Japanese. I'm Muslim. I'm not Japanese. I don't practice the practice Bushido code. I practice inshallah the Muslim code. Which is, this is a test. Allah keep testing me because to make me stronger. He disbelieves that. Pakcik ni, he doesn't believe in that. That test is sign of Allah, that sign that Allah loves us, make us stronger, for Allah to give us His pleasure. But this pakcik is, it's a weirdo. He was just projecting his own shame and guilt on me. It's like, what are you talking about, man? It's like, you're right, you're right too, meaning, f off. Okay, please, like, please stop talking. You've been blabbing at me for 2 hours. Aku dah lapar. I need to eat something. Uh, it's like, okay, tak apa, biar dia luahkan perasaan. Don't be rude. Just be polite. Just be polite. Just, yes, you're right. Yes, you're right. So that was me in that 2 hour, was it 3 hour conversation? Like, yes, you're right, Pachi. Yes, you're right. Anywho, so be aware that when we are being tested, sometimes those are tests. I think that Pakcik was a test on me, on my resolve that such tests are, uh, such tests is Allah's love for me, to make me stronger. Can so this happened about the same time when I was going through this vulnerability punya practice, and you know, uh, and when that happened, I was like, oh, asal pakcik ni yang aku sayang ni, aku sayang pakcik ni. I love this man, but why is he saying such crappy things? Pelik betul. But instead of taking that personally, I know he was just projecting himself on me, but um, but I also took it as a test to make me stronger, because you know I was feeling vulnerable at that time. Masa dia tengah kecam maki hamun, telling me to go kill myself, because I love him and I used to like to take advice from him. But I used to, yeah. But realize that this guy is so pedantic and gone askew, so it's weird. And so instead of making that vulnerable, I was vulnerable, feeling vulnerable at that time. I was going through this process of looking at my weaknesses, and that conversation actually made me stronger. Walaupun dia maki hina, but it made me stronger, realizing that sometimes I'm hard on myself, but I don't have to be hard on myself. Other people can be hard on me because sometimes they're hard on themselves and they're projecting on me. Sometimes what people say, my point is, what people say is what people say to us, to you or to me again, is a reflection of their own shame and guilt. That is the point. Okay, so that is the next point. Um, that is a reflection of their shame and guilt. Uh, Contoh pernah tak siapa-siapa yang cakap kat you, nak kahwin lose weight lah dulu. Yang cakap tu pun macam mana? Kan? Yang cakap tu pun, yeah, you need to lose weight too, kan? Yeah, why not? I mean, lose weight for the sake of Allah. We all have our struggles with losing weight. You want to be healthy for the sake of Allah. That's the purpose. Bukan lose weight because nak admiration from another man. No, that's not going to be a strong motivation. And um, so sometimes what people tell you, remind yourself, it's not you. Sometimes it's their own projection of their own shame and guilt on you. Okay? Kalau orang rasa, kau rasa kau diri kau tu, guys, okay, listen. Kau rasa, telling each other kan, a group of guys together, scenario. One guy cakap, aku nak kahwin lah. And another guy, biasa suka bahan, kau cukup duit ke? Kau cukup handsome ke nak kahwin? Sebenarnya dia sendiri rasa yang cakap, yang duk maki hamun tu, dia sendiri rasa dia tak mencukupi, tak cukup duit, tak cukup handsome. And he has his own insecurities. People reflect their own insecurities on you sometimes. You have to realize when to take accountability. When people tell you an advice, you listen and then you reflect on it. Is this really me, or can I do something about it? And Some things people say, okay, this is a mistake that I've done. I have to take accountability. So sometimes it's not you, but sometimes it's you. Okay, sometimes it's not me or someone, because someone is projecting their shame and guilt on me, but, but sometimes it is me. So going through that process, it that's why vulnerability gives you the acute awareness of knowing when it's your fault and when it's not your fault. So when it's your fault, you can do something about it. When you take responsibility, you take power. Boleh? When you take with great responsibility comes great power. So when you take responsibility, you take power. Okay. So there is a difference, slight difference from shame and guilt. They usually go in hand and usually overlap. Di mana shame is feeling never good enough, okay, and thinking who do you are to kahwin, who do you think you are to succeed in mendapatkan keredaan Allah. Um, and guilt is more of a um, sorry, I made a mistake. All right. But shame, I am a mistake. There's a big difference. Okay. Big difference. So um, have to differentiate that, learn to differentiate that. And so understand the difference between shame and guilt, although it overlaps a lot. But when you recollect back your own mistakes in the past, or salah pilih boyfriend or tunang, or takut salah pilih suami, tunangan, realize whether your shame is blaming yourself, thinking you're a mistake, and guilt is I made a mistake. But if you feel guilty and you take accountability, what you can do is minta maaf ke Allah. And one, forgiveness, ask for forgiveness from Allah. Two, forgive yourself for making that mistake. And three, learn how to fix that mistake. So there's three things. Ask for forgiveness from Allah for making that mistake. Two, forgive yourself for making that mistake. And three is learn to fix that mistake. So what I'm sharing with you is ilmu, supaya you tak date again, making the mistake of dating couple break, and how to select pasangan jodoh and suami, and um, and so you can fix that mistake, so you don't make that mistake again. So when you take accountability, you will be able to better proceed, pass the test better. When you learn you're the ilmu, of course you can pass the test better. All right. So uh, if we don't move on, we don't learn from our mistakes, uh, we might be repeating the same mistake, and then it gives it's it gives us macam okay. Let me share the story first. A college friend of mine, I was at the lounge of the in between the classroom, and I like to read personal development books. What was I reading? Tony Robbins' Unlimited Power at that time, or Unleash the Power Within. One of those Tony Robbins book, and I was reading the book, and this friend of mine, she's my math tutor. She's good at math. Um, and then she asked me, "Why are you reading that book?" I said, "I want to improve myself." You should read it. She said, "No, no, I don't want to." She said, "Why don't you want to?" I'm afraid if I find out my weaknesses. Hmm, interesting. Interesting. So she's afraid of being vulnerable by finding out her weaknesses will make her feel vulnerable, which is true. It will make you feel vulnerable. Okay. And the more I read, I am lacking in such a thing, but this is how to fix it. Yeah. I mean, I was like surprised. Someone smart like her. She's my math teacher. She's classmate lah. I was horrible at mathematics. She's awesome at mathematics, but uh, um, someone intelligent like that have that kind of block. yeah, from moving on, moving forward. So intelligent but tak cerdik. Again, intelligent but tak cerdik. So there's a difference, I think. Um, okay, so dah 9:50. So okay, so how do you mitigate feeling of weaknesses? One, you ask Allah, tanya Allah, minta Allah buat tanya what is my mistake, and doa what is my mistake, and uh, show us the way to fix it. There is a doa, nanti kalau sempat saya share. Alright, so another way to go about it, when I was going through this vulnerability process, uh, I went into this vulnerability punya cave, this vulnerability process by accident. It just reminded me of my trauma that I had when I was a child. So at that time, I think I was having a breakdown. You know, so like unresolved, because it was unresolved. I think it was unresolved. Uh, that trauma, but fortunately, I have a group of good friends, good brothers that I feel safe sharing this with them. I told them this is what happened to me when I was young, and then they were surprised. They were surprised. Oh, okay. Uh, because I I mostly forgot about it. Most of it. I mostly forgot about it until I had to go through this process, and I did not realize it was holding me back. I thought I was confident enough. I'm a confident guy. I think I'm a confident guy, but there was something that's nagging me and holding me back, and I did not realize what it was until I went through this process of understanding my weakness and my trauma dulu. So until I went through this process, I did not realize it was bugging me. And now that I realize it was bugging me, I I talked to my friends about it, and they listened, and they were surprised, of course. Diorang tak sangka that happened, because but after that, after a few months of that, I begin because I addressed it, I begin to feel actually more confident. It's not just I'm putting a confidence on me. It's more of a true core confidence where it came from, because I addressed it. I didn't suppress it. That is that is my main point. Talking about it helps. Talking about it helps. Firstly, talk about it with Allah, and then it helps to istisharah with your friends that you trust. Don't just trust anyone with your secrets, okay? Don't just trust anyone with your secrets. Um, Trust a few that you can trust. People who won't repeat what you share with them. Um, so my point about vulnerability is, and vulnerability to shame, vulnerability to fear, that it leads us to strength, not weakness. When we address it, when we talk about it, it leads us to more strength and not weakness. It helps us understand to verbalize our shame, our fear, and slowly it will go away because we addressed it, not suppress it. Otherwise, it'll dah jadi sediment kat dalam kolam hati kan. Kat kolam kita, kata gini kolam kan. Kolam hati tu, dia jadi sediment. So basically, kita ambil sediment tu buang yang keruh. Because dia dah mengkeruhkan kolam hati tu. I think that's a good analogy. And kolam hati tu, dia keruh. Dia keruh sebab there's this still the sediment of shame, fear, and guilt at the bottom. So talking about it helps. It helps us verbalize it, and then you know how to pick up the sediment yang mengeruhkan hati kita tu and throw it away. Alright, and yeah, I hope that helps. It's already okay. So so it gives us courage. How it gives us courage is because When we are courageous with our own self, can uh, it it's gives us more compassion to be kind to ourselves, because we are willing to talk about it to ourselves, inner talk, self-talk thing. And this is self-compassion, and this is self-kindness. If you suppress it, you're ignoring your own feelings. Kan katakan, if some of your friend or your spouse ignores your feelings, that is not compassionate. But paling teruk is kita tak talk to ourselves, tak address the issue, and we are not compassionate or kind to ourselves. This is very lacking, and uh, very lacking. In fact, there was a talk on the radio. It's like our society lacks self-empathy. Self-empathy, faham diri sendiri dan faham perasaan diri sendiri. More or less the same as, but going through that, you will have to go through certain vulnerability. Vulnerability is helps you become more authentic. And I believe how I have the courage to talk to you live every night is because, and unscripted. I have notes just for memory, but helps me become more authentic, and I share my pain, my mistakes with you, because I've let go of being perfect. And it will, when you go through this process, it will help you to let go of being perfect. It will help you to embrace yourself, embrace for you to be yourself. So macam, this is me. Yeah, I asked my wife punya comments after, did you listen to my talk? He said, yeah, so you just so being yourself. Yeah, I'm being myself, and I'm comfortable, and I like it. Um, so yeah, it will help you become more authentic, becoming true to yourself, becoming who you are. That itself is joy. That itself is joy. And if I didn't go through that process, I don't think I'll be talking to you live every night, macam ni. And like just now, okay, because kalau if I start scripting blah blah, uh, that's tiring. I have to read a script. I have to say it like this to address certain demographic. Screw that. I'm not. I don't want to be perfect. I don't care to be perfect. I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna share my experience, and hope you don't run through the same crap, and you find the right way to cari jodoh. And so it will give you the courage to be yourself. It will give you the courage to be authentic with yourself. Uh, yes, I have notes, but I'm just me. It's just me. I mean, why some people they like to swear, blah blah blah. I don't like to swear. Why don't you try to be more like Gary V? He swears a lot. To Gary V, I'm Muslim. I don't want to swear. Again, it's not good for myself. I don't like it. I don't like to hear it, and I don't want to swear. So I don't want to be like Gary V. I want to be me, and you should be you. Okay, you be you, right? Don't be a Stepford wife robot. Have you seen that movie, Stepford Wife Robot? You're just programmed to be the perfect wife robot. Interesting movie. Uh, don't be a robot. You know what? But be yourself, man. Okay. So, um, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, unfortunately, how we go through. Just a quick to cover how we go through macam avoidance punya strategy of being numb. Kita tak nak feeling vulnerable because it's very uncomfortable, because it's very excruciating to understand and look at our own weaknesses, our own trauma. It hurts, but if we don't look at the apa luka tu kat mana, kan, kita nak stitch it up macam mana, how we going to heal that pain. Then so if we ignore it, and it will fester. If we ignore it, it will fester. We ignore it by we numb it. Numb tu kita macam we just numbkan the pain by one is blaming others. Okay, Blaming is a way to discharge the discomfort. Can I'm not talking about politics or parliament. No, I'm talking about I'm talking about our own self. Why sometimes we blame? Okay, because um, sometimes, for example, contoh uh, we fail in a relationship, and then we blame. Oh, he did this to me. She did this to me. He screwed up. She screwed up. So when we blame, we give away the power to fix things. Like they should have done this and done that. There's this guy, tunang dia. I mean, he messaged me tunang dia, bro. If you're listening, I'm addressing you specifically. So this guy tunang dia, mak dia tak suka, so mak dia suruh cari lain. Tapi dah tunang, barang dah hantaran dah hantar, kan. But he wants closure, and I feel that he's um, blaming someone, but not himself for letting this happen. Um, yeah, sometimes things happen because not our own fault, but sometimes things happen because we let it happen. We let it happen, and be accountable. Okay, this is my mistake. I'm not going to let it happen again. When we take accountability, I'm not going to let it happen again. I've been screwed before. I'm not going to be screwed the same way again. All right. Um, so don't blame, take accountability. Don't blame, take accountability. So another way of numbing ourselves is sometimes, just to give an example, this lady, she was a recovering alcoholic. I was talking to this Australian lady the other day. She um, rather tragic, her life, because when she was young, she was raped by her brother, and then her brother sold her to a sex trafficking ring. After 20 years or so, then she managed to escape the sex trafficking ring. She escaped, and she was raped again by a taxi driver. Then she became an alcoholic because she was trying to numb that that pain. She was trying to numb that vulnerability and everything that have happened to her. So, um, some people go take alcohol, but I told her, your story is actually very inspiring since you are recovering from alcohol. It's not that you are not worthy of love, and then uh, but you just need to love yourself first. And then she basically cried when I told her that. I told her she's worthy of love, because doesn't feel she's worthy of love. Sebab she's gone through all this trauma that she's not addressed, and these are vulnerabilities that she's been numbing away. So no, she's still recovering. I think how many days? Should be 3 months alcohol free now. So I should catch up with her, see how she's doing. Again, so everyone needs a friend here then. So we all have different ways of numbing our pain. Sometimes because we're afraid to feel the pain and vulnerability again. And if we numb our pain, it also blocks us. It's the same door. It also blocks the door. Side, still recording. It's a sign for me to go change the diaper. All right. So if we this vulnerability is the same door for us to be open to ourselves, and it's also the same door to feel the pain. But if we address it, we will feel more joy and gratitude. So, I mean, that process personally, what I'm sharing with you, I went through this process of understanding my weakness, and it gave me more joy and gratitude. And of course, we want to be umat, seorang yang lebih bersyukur. Sometimes kita tak lebih bersyukur because kita tak accept our own weaknesses. and kita tak berani tak even even tak berani nak tanya, ya Allah, what is my weaknesses and how do I fix it. So going through that process gave me such joy and relief that I have addressed that trauma that happened to me, and I'm so grateful that I've removed I've removed that sediment and trauma away, and I've accepted that's part of me, and I don't have to let it control me and moving forward. So yay, alhamdulillah. So the point here is, if you numb your um, if you numb your feelings of pain, you also numb your feelings of joy and gratitude. It goes hand in hand. So being able to open up helps you feel more grateful, feel more joy, and when you're having a joyful time with yourself, when you're happy with yourself, and inshallah Allah will give you a happy spouse, right? So don't let things drag you, because you're not because it's a dead weight. This pain trauma is a dead weight. It's dragging you down. So learn to I think tomorrow night, boleh, if you join me, we'll be discussing more uh, on how to mitigate and how to manage vulnerability, because I want you to be happy. One of the reason we're not happy is we are not addressing the pain, the shame, because we're afraid to be vulnerable. So, okay, all right. So, this is just mukadimah and an exploration of facing our shame. I hope this will give you a realization that 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 just to tell you that there are certain dead weights and trauma that's holding us back. We want to learn to let it go, and let it go, and let it go, and to move forward. Kan, macam I always do this, macam Hindustani dance, where we're always grabbing onto we're always grabbing onto the past, but we want to move forward, but we're grabbing onto the past, so we can't move forward because we haven't let it go. All right, so all right, it's I have to make a move. I have to go change diaper. Part of the joy of being a father. All right. Okay. Alhamdulillah. Okay. Thank you for joining me tonight. Um, but remember, um, maybe you can Google later other doa to overcome weakness, and basically seek refuge from Allah from grief and sadness, from miserliness and cowardice. Uh, so there is doa. Maybe you can Google that later. I want to give this doa a bit more gravitas because it's so important. It's so strong. We'll discuss this tomorrow night. Please join me tomorrow night, because I want you to let go of crap, the sediment, let go of the past, your trauma. Okay, because from my own personal experience, I have, and I feel so much joy since then, and gratitude, more gratitude, and made me tougher, stronger, more courageous. All right, cool. Assalamualaikum. Assalamualaikum. Assalamualaikum Melayu ni panjang. Banyak bukan nimah ni. So a quick doa as usual. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Raise your hand and make doa with me. Lepas ni type amin. Okay. Doa is, ya Allah, aku minta pasangan yang menjadi menantu yang baik pada ibu bapaku, yang disayangimu, untuk mendapat keredaanmu, berganding bahu bersama ke jannahmu. Ya Allah. Amin. Alright, so before Punami happens, that you'll find out what that is when you have kids. I have to go change diaper, and I'll see you tomorrow night. Please come back with questions, comments, and forgot bagi homework. Homework is accountability. Silap dalam mencari jodoh you di mana, and how to fix it. So you send me a list of you believe what are the things you could have been accountable on, silap you kat mana dalam mencari jodoh selama ni, and how, and your idea of how to fix it, and then I will comment, inshallah. Okay, this is your homework, and I have to go. Minta diri, ingat, cinta diri, cinta mari. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.